Right, hello, Mr. Miliswa. I wanted to ask for your opinion on the recent upheavals that we have witnessed in the main opposition, where a supposedly fake letter has been used to recall 15 MPs and 17 councillors and some senators. So we have seen this situation before when the CCC was an MDC alliance. So we've seen a repeat of the same situation. Some are saying it's ZANU-PF, some are saying these are internal actions. What is your opinion on this matter?
First of all, who's to say it's a fake letter? There must be a structure. Has CCC got a structure? And a structure is born out of a Congress, okay, where leaders are elected from the president, the vice president, and the numerous positions which are there, by also elected people from the various organs of the party, be it in ZANU-PF to be cell level, branch, district, provincial, where there's DCC and so on. So where is the structure within the CCC to talk about them having had a Congress to elect Advocate Chamisa as the president? That's where they have a problem. So who can say it's a fake letter? So that has created a gap for somebody to write, and you cannot say, why are they writing? Because that's how it is structured. He's the first person to write and to say, I'm the president or I'm the Secretary General. No one else has written a letter saying that the Secretary General. You must understand. This is different from when the MDCA issue was a constitutional issue. It was a court order which came from the Constitutional Court saying that they must go to the structure that they had before that MDCA and so forth. So that's totally different. So the only way forward is that the Advocate Nelson Chamisa has got to dissolve, recall everybody. In fact, everybody must resign in mass, from the councillors to the MPs. Then they have a Congress, put structures, have leaders, then form a party, a political party, then contest in the by-elections which are coming. They're likely to get back the same seats and so forth. That's the only way. There's no other way. A precedent has been sent the world that the acting interim Secretary General letters have been taken on board. So to me, the same will happen to everybody else. They're not safe. Them withdrawing from Parliament and Council does not mean anything. Let them totally get out, have a proper structure, have a Congress, elect Advocate Nelson Chamisa, then go for these by-elections. Time is there. They must not waste time having press conferences. Let them make time to go and put the structures of the party through the various systems that they have. That's the only way, or else there's no opposition as we speak in the country.
Some have been arguing that the problem is not with the CCC, but the problem is with the ruling ZANU-PF, which they say has been waging lawfare against the opposition, employing the use of state apparatus, employing the use of the law and other underhand tactics to try and to bring down the opposition. What do you say to that?
It's always been case in ZANU-PF. When you say the truth, they say you're CIA, you're opposition, and then in the opposition, when things don't go well, it's ZANU-PF and so forth. So that is a rhetoric which has always been there. But the truth of the matter, where are the documents or minutes when they go to court? They've challenged in court. The court will be very your structure. Who's your president? When did you have a Congress? Where are the minutes? Who moved the motion? Who seconded the motion and so forth? These are the cracks of the matters more than anything. ZANU-PF is quite good at that, whether you like it or not. They have a Congress. And when they go to Congress, they already know who their leader is. And it's a matter of one person getting up, proposing, and the rest seconding province and by province. And that's why ED ended up. You cannot question that ED is not a legitimate leader in ZANU-PF because he's gone through the entire structures. Because they start and they bring each structure as a resolution which leads up to Congress and so forth. But MDC hasn't got that paper trail which leads to a Congress where Advocate Nelson Chamisa is then appointed. But they've also got their own internal problems which they did not deal with. You know, getting rid of certain people who are prominent also creates enemies within. Maybe let them look inside first before outside.
And lastly, the opposition leader, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, yesterday held a press conference where he said they are disengaging from council and from parliament. And he says that there's a difference between disengaging and totally boycotting it. So he says they will be going there, but they won't be taking part. How effective is that?
First of all, like the last time the MDCA, he was supposed to come in as the leader of the opposition. When you lose the presidential election, you need to be in a position of authority. You cannot control things when you're outside. You were supposed to be in parliament and be the leader of opposition in the Senate and dictate things, control things. He's now using people inside while he's outside. He should be inside to control the things inside and so forth. The same with this. He could have just said, I'm going in to be the leader of the opposition in the Senate and so forth. These shenanigans would not have happened and so forth. But there are too many gaps, and that's why, the enemy sees the gap, they come in. Yes, you've got to understand that ZANU-PF is smiling because they're saying, listen, clearly this is not what we expected, but, they're having an early Christmas and so forth. Honorable Advocate Jacob Francis Mzwindamlumo is not to blame. He's just a messenger, like I've said, and he has to do what has got to be done. So who then wrote a letter? Writing a letter to say, ignore this letter, it means nothing. As who? Because that letter that comes first is more important than the one that comes in later and so forth. So to me, he could have been the leader of the opposition. And I also reiterate that when they put up those structures, when they have elections, he's not going to win the presidential. Let him be the leader of the opposition in parliament. Then he's in control, then he's in charge.
And again, we have seen a scenario where for the past 2 election cycles, the opposition has been involved in some form of rebuilding exercise. Prior to the 2018, they were rebuilding. Prior to 2023, they were rebuilding. So how viable is the opposition in this country going forward?
There's no opposition. That's the truth of the matter. And not only that, they were given jobs by the electorate. They're not in to serve people. They were given jobs by electorate. First of all, boycotting parliament was not necessary because you've taken oath to serve the country, not the party. So once you've done that, you must be honorable enough and honest enough to serve national interest, to serve the people, and forget about the party. Political parties are not bigger than Zimbabwe. You must understand that. And we seem to lose that. The nation is bigger than the political parties, and we must be vanguards of the nation, not of the political parties and so forth. So to me, it's pretty clear that priorities are missed. Hands on deck for the councillors, hand on deck for the legislators. Be like EFF. Hold ZANU-PF accountable. Where is their work plan? I've never heard that they went to a work plan to come up with strategies, the laws that they want done, and so forth, etc. and all that. That I did not see that. They must have a strategic workshop where they can talk about what they intend to do while they are in the house. First session, second session, third, and so forth. That they don't do. Any success requires planning, requires strategic meetings, and it requires review too.
Thank you.